Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Chainsaw Man Season 1, Episode 3. So, our Chainsaw Boy has got his hands on some toast and jelly, finally, after so many years of wanting it, and now he needs to get his hands on some boobies. Important stuff, but he's also demonstrated his kindness as well, even though he spent majority of the episode thinking about boobs. He did help that fiend out that they went and fought. He cut its head off without going Chainsaw Man, even though they asked him to, and cutting the guy to pieces, because now that he is somewhat of a fiend himself, just kind of flipped around the opposite way, he doesn't want to tear the person's body apart if he doesn't have to, because he still sees them as people. So pretty cool. I did like that aspect. We met Power, who seems like a very interesting character, interesting name. She is a fiend. I was thinking about it. Something I didn't really talk about is how I kind of feel bad for the girl, right? Like, I imagine there's nothing left of the girl that once was, because that's a devil that took over this girl's body, right? And I guess they take over dead bodies. So she died. Okay. But still, I mean, respect for the dead. This monster thing is running around in her body doing shit. Like, what if her parents saw it? But anyway, it was just something I thought about afterwards. But that's right. It is a dead body that they take over. I was thinking, like, did this fiend just take over this girl's body, and then Makima's just like, all right, let's hire her. So, but anyway, I'm excited to see where we go this time. Do we get to see Chainsaw Boy use chainsaws this time? Or will he continue to just axe heads off? I guess we will find out. Alright guys, we're going to start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Don't worry, I know his name is Denji as well. I just like calling him Chainsaw Boy. Ugh, we're still here. Just friggin' guts everywhere. Oh, Makima's here. Did something go wrong? Interesting. Blood Devil. Trying to pass it off on Denji. What a shot. They're just like, you want to see Makima's ass while they fight? Let's do it. She's always so calm, it's scary. What happens when she gets worked up? Scared of her. Oh my god, did he just look at her boobs? At first I thought he was looking at the blood. I didn't really think much of the shot. Then I realized, pretty sure he was just looking at her boobs. Does she want something? Do fiends eat people food? Of course. Yes, maybe now is not the time. The funny thing is, with Power being a devil, Power is probably his best shot, because she might just be like, I don't give a shit about these human things. Here, go ahead, touch them. Kitty. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Oh my god, he just says it out loud. I was gonna say, like, you're. Oh. Motivation. Oh, the music. He is into it now. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was funny. I love that I just wrote the sentence, kill devil to save Meowie to fondle boobs. That's what I just wrote down. Oh my god. I'm gonna kill the shit out of that devil. He just went from not caring about anything she's saying, even though he had a pet devil himself, right? Like, but just because it wasn't a dog, he wasn't relating because it was a cat. Oh my god. God, my eyes are watering because that was so fucking funny. Jesus. Ugh. Alright. Oh man. He has to check her out like a book. Hmm. Oh my god, Denji. Get your head in the game. Oh, I mean, technically Pochita is quite literally his heart, so circumstances are a little different. Oh my god. Think he's just agreeing for the boobs. He's just riding a train with an axe on the seat next to him. Oh. More reference to, like, considering them dogs, yeah. Interesting. Huh. That look. She can answer? Oh. Ah, okay. So it is based kind of on fear. Interesting. Huh. Hmm. But, I mean, you're working with a fiend, so they all can't just be cold-blooded killers, right? Okay. That was a really interesting conversation in the car, though. Can't wait to talk about that. Oh, she doesn't know. I could turn into a bunch of chainsaws. What a sentence. So she doesn't know, right? That he's got a devil in him? I guess not. Hmm. Is it possible that she's playing him and there's not really a pet here? Or something's off? Oh! Well, as I said that... Hmm... So is she just messing with him? Like, the whole organization? Does she just lure people here that work there? Oh. Okay, so she was biding her time, I see. Bat? Well, I think he's gonna turn into a bunch of chainsaws. Oh! Oh, got some of his blood. Oh, yeah, he's got devil in him. Oh, well, he's got his arm back, though. Jeez! Could he not just hunt random humans? without having his arm? I imagine it'd be pretty easy. Well, I have a feeling even if he gets out of this situation, he won't get to fondle her boobs. It's time to pull the ripcord. Oh wow, so he's just... Is he just away from them? Oh no, he's still there, okay. I thought he already left. Oh, so there really is a Meowie. Oh, and it looks like it's just a cat, okay. Oh no, not the kitty! Oh. Oh, look at that kitty. It needs food. Did she end up liking it? I wonder. Jesus! Okay, well. Milked the cow and then killed it. So then she got taken in by the public safety, and just got a chance to do it. Well, shit. Shit. Okay, we need to fix that. Can we fix all of that? That's not good. She just let him, too. He swallowed her whole, though. Could she fight from within? Jesus. I was gonna say, I thought I saw Denji. Give me my tits back, oh my god. Yes, the ripcord! Oh, here we go, baby. Oh. Jesus, it just burst out. Oh. This is the first time we've seen this since, Jeez. Wow, that was a hard cut to notebooks. Oh, is it gonna hit this building? Is that why we're seeing it? Yep. Jesus! Well, that's some damage. Oh, is she about to see our chainsaw boy? Yeah, run! Alright, here we go, baby. Nice. Just make sure you don't cut her inside, assuming she's alive in there. I imagine it takes time to digest, right? Cool. Jeez. Be terrifying. How did he punch with the chainsaw? Oh! Oh, he can get rid of the chainsaws at will. And he's strong. Jeez. Ugh! Ugh! What the fuck? Jesus. There is so much damage being done to the town. Is this covered by public safety? uh... Oh, does he have to pull the ripcord to get them back out again? Oh, I love just hearing the sound through the smoke. Oh, look, his hand's all fucked up. Oh, oh, his tongue. That was a cool shot of him. Oh, that looks pretty badass. I like how his shirt hanging back looks kind of like a cape. Here we go. Let's go, baby. Oh, just chainsaw up his arm. Oh, both his arms are fucked now. Jeez. Well, you're done now, kid. Talking about the devil, not the actual kid. Oh, what? That's it? We don't even get to know whether Power's alive or not? I mean, meta perspective, I'm fairly certain she's alive, right? I think the real question is Meowie alive? This outro is pretty cool. I've heard the outros are different, right? Jeez. This song is wild. Yeah, I don't recognize this, so... I definitely didn't hear the song before. I love it. Reach for those boobs, kid. That was a transition from... It's like 2 different songs. I mean, maybe it was. Alright. That is it, guys, for episode 3. That was good. That was a really good episode. Like, not only did we get some really awesome action, but we also got a lot of information into this world, or at least a decent amount too, which is pretty cool. As usual, there's stuff that I am stupid and missed, so I want to go back really fast and see. Makima says something in the beginning that I kind of missed. Was it before they started their lying fight? I think it was, wasn't it? 1 second, let me see. It was like one of the first lines that just went by really fast, and I didn't fully get it. Sorry, guys. I just like to make sure I'm clear on everything, so... Let's see, starting from the beginning, I'm pretty sure... Let's see... If public safety kills a civilian hunter's devil... That's the line that, like, I read it, but I didn't fully get it, and even reading it again, I see why I didn't get it. If public safety kills a civilian hunter's devil... What's the rest of that line? We're guilty of obstructing their business. Okay, so I guess this devil was, like, kind of... So it's kind of like first come, first rule, or like, so I guess there's like individual hunters in this world. Like, not all hunters are part of public safety, it seems like. Interesting. I wonder how you become she said, a civilian hunter. I guess maybe, okay. And maybe you can make some money from doing it somehow, and you're obstructing their business by killing it for them. Maybe there's, like, bounties or something like that. But, alright. That's just, like, I read that line, and for some reason, it went by, like, so damn fast. And I read it, I, like, barely read it. And I was just really confused. So, okay. That makes sense. There's one other thing I wanted to see, and it was when Makima was talking to all the people in the office. They said something about America. And I just didn't... I felt like I didn't get a chance to fully read the line. Even though I got a gist of what they were saying. It sounds like America's using devils. Wait, where was it? It wasn't before the backstory, was it? Or... I mean, it was before the backstory, wasn't it? Yeah, it definitely was. How did I go past it? It was like a pretty long scene. Come on now. How far back was it? Okay, it was here. Okay, there it is. The American matter has got the Soviet warhawks crowing more loudly than ever. That was just another sentence that there were so many things that I didn't understand what it was saying. I guess it's just setting something up maybe for the future, possibly, or just some world building stuff. Let's see. American issue. I just want to write some of this stuff down. Soviet Warhawks. Just some of these words so I can remember them later on. And then I think I got this next line, right? They said, Doop, 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 doop. There are rumors about the military use of devils. Yeah, okay. I did get that part. Alright, we're good. I understand the rest of what I saw. I just wanted to make sure that I got all that stuff down. Cool. We're good now. Yeah, so in the beginning of the episode, we had obviously their little argument, blaming each other for it. Obviously, I mean, she claimed that she doesn't lie and only humans do, but clearly that's not the case for multiple lies that she told this episode. But yeah, I like how she brought Denji there, and right before they went in, Denji is like, "Oh yeah, I can turn into a bunch of chainsaws," and she's like, "Human jokes aren't that funny." It's like, oh, you poor girl did not know what you were getting into, but I guess she's a fiend, not a girl, but still, you know what I mean. I wrote down about petting the cat when they were alone at the vending machines and she was petting the cat. I liked that added little detail because from her introduction, she kind of just like showed up and then she took off and wanted to kill immediately. And the fact that she was petting that cat, I felt like helped show the audience that she could be a little more gentle than she originally let on, right? But it's also due to her backstory having this soft spot for cats. But yeah, then she told the whole story about the devil taking away her Meowie and everything, and gave Denji the motivation he needed. That scene was just gold, right? Like, I will say I'm not the biggest fan of, like, usually in anime when the main character obsesses over like girls or, you know, in this case boobs and stuff like that, it's sometimes like feels shallow to me. But in this show, I don't mind it so much. It does go to a little bit of extremes where like every single shot, like if there's ever like an in-between moment, instead of like showing us the world or Denji having some like deep thoughts, it's just him looking at boobs, right? But I believe it's just part of his character's growth, and eventually we will move past it, or at least that's what I hope, you know? So really I don't mind it, since I'm seeing it as his growth as a person kind of thing. But, you know, there's other shows where, and they're not, the other good thing is they're not doing it so far in too much of a fan servicey way. You know, like when Power made that promise, if this was a different anime that had more fan service, I believe what would have happened is she would have like unbuttoned her shirt a little bit and showed like a little bit of cleavage or a little bit of her bra or something, and would have been like, if you save Meowie, you can fondle these, you know, or something, and it would have been like less casual, I guess, about it. And so far the show hasn't really done fan service, right? It's mainly just the main character looking at these girls' chests through their shirt, where there's not even much like definition to be seen or anything. So like I think that's where I'm not a big fan of fan service, you know. I've stated it before, where like I'm fine with it if they do it every now and then. You know, every anime, or almost every anime, has those shower scenes and stuff like that. And it also depends, because there's some anime that make me as a 30-year-old man very uncomfortable, because we're watching middle school kids or whatever, and then they do shower scenes or something where they over-sexualize the characters. And that's where it's awkward to me, because these kids are like 13 or 14 years old and they're over-sexualizing them in shower scenes and stuff like that, and like so much fan service. Like, I feel a little less awkward. Excuse me. I feel a little less awkward. Man, my voice. Holy crap. 1 second. Okay. Let's try that a third time. I feel a little less awkward when I know that they're adults, because I'm like, okay, well, I don't have to feel weird about looking at this, right? But, 90% of anime are kids, and then when you throw in the big chunk of anime that has the fan service, as an adult myself, it, just makes me feel weird. But but yeah. Anyway, I love the moment of the motivation of like, well, if you save Meowie, you can fondle my boobs, which is exactly what I was saying shortly before that. I was like, I'm pretty sure like Power doesn't really care about sexuality. She doesn't care about that human stuff. She I don't know. It's a weird thing to bring up, but I don't know whether she would get sexual gratification from being touched, like would she feel any sensations from her boobs being grabbed or something? Or because she's a fiend, does she lose that stimulus and she finds stimulus through other means, right? Like, I mean, either way, the fact of the matter is she's a devil, so it's one of those things where the character just doesn't give a shit about that stuff, so she doesn't feel embarrassed about that kind of stuff, which is usually, I shouldn't say that, but I won't finish that thought. Anyway, but yeah, just that giving him that motivation and then his reaction to that motivation where he just instantly flipped from like not being interested in the conversation at all, not caring about Meowie or anything, to like dead set focus. Like I'm gonna do this. It was a great moment. It was great comedy. That's the kind of stuff where like I'm perfectly okay with the idea of making a scene about boobs and stuff like that. I'm perfectly fine with that kind of scene because that was hilarious. But spending the rest of the episode of him just looking at him was like, all right, let's like I want to learn other things, I already know what your goals are, Denji. But yeah, it's fine. I still very much love the episode. We learned, I mean, I guess that's also a build up for earlier, but Power can't leave on her own. Which later on in the episode we learn that's why, I mean, that's why she didn't do this sooner, right? She can't leave on her own, so she was waiting for a naive person to take her out, and that way she can bring a human to this guy, and she found her chance with Denji. She's like, alright, well, this kid wants to touch. Also, it is still possible that she does care, because she brought Denji to be eaten. Her plan was to never follow through on the let you fondle my boobs, right? So technically, there could still be a part of Power that doesn't want him to do that would be embarrassed by it and like doesn't want it, but like now she might have to do it because she just expected him to die. So she was like, all right, well, I'll make this promise and then he'll never have to follow through with it, so I'll never have to deal with it, right? But I think also a good indication that she doesn't care about that kind of stuff is the fact that she was out naked for so long, right? It's not like she was like, oh, I need to cover up so people don't see me like this. Granted, she did say that anyone that saw her, she killed back then, so. But yeah, it's crazy that someone like that, someone that killed anyone that she came across, that met her eyeline and everything, was someone that Makima would take in and help. So I'm really curious. I think that's something that I also want to see, is how Power met Makima, and I feel like we'll see that eventually, right? But yeah, Makima's a really interesting character because I can't really get a read on her. She's so, as I said in the beginning of the episode, she's so calm all the time. Like, even when they got in trouble for something, she didn't like lash out at them, and I think that calmness is what intimidates them a lot, right? And then even when she was talking in front of like the board, and they were like talking down to, I mean, I don't know if she even cares enough about Denji and Power, where they were saying like they're just dogs, don't get too attached, and once again with that conversation, that's another, she considered Denji a dog, they considered Denji a dog, and Power, he's basically only to be used until he's not useful anymore, and probably as soon as he becomes more of a burden than he is useful, he may be killed, right? And I wonder how the aftermath of this battle is going to go, because there was a lot of damage done, and I imagine a part of the Devil Hunter's job is to try to dispatch devils while dealing minimum damage to your surroundings, right? Just based on the fact that they're public safety, right? But I also wonder if by looking at the devil, they can tell whether or not, like, it was extremely strong. Like, maybe this devil would have been, like, almost impossible for a normal human devil hunter to kill, but Denji was able to do it because he's Chainsaw Boy, right? I don't know, because we don't know the strength of normal devil hunters yet. It's hard to say, but basically my point is, I just wonder if, like, they're able to gauge the power level of it based off appearance, which maybe they can, because they already know that devils are born with names. By that being, like, the Bat Devil we had here, the Blood Devil, which is power, and stuff like that. Like, the more fear they have, like, in connotation to that name, the more powerful the devil. So that's really interesting. That's why, like, the tomato devils we've seen aren't very threatening, is because there's probably not a lot of people that are scared of tomatoes, right? So it makes them not very powerful. But a bat devil, a lot of people that can say that they're scared of bats, right? So I imagine he was more powerful because of that. Blood devil, there's probably a good amount of people that are scared of blood. I wonder how general that is, like, but interesting. I like that concept. I talked a little bit about Jujutsu Kaisen when we started this show. That definitely seems similar to Jujutsu Kaisen stuff, where where in that show the different fears are manifested, and some of, like, the bigger ones, like the mountains, the oceans, the volcanoes, create, like, very powerful ones and everything. So I like that we have this power scaling now, that as we hear, like, the different things, we can be like, ooh, that's probably really feared. This guy's probably gonna be, like, pretty damn strong. And now we have a gauge of, like, somewhat of the strength of what, like, a bat can do. Like the fear level of a bat. And as we see more devils, we'll be able to build our own power scaling in our own minds, where we're like, okay, yeah, that's, like, you know, I feel like that's gonna be way scarier than what a bat would have been, right? So, interesting. Very cool. I really like that stuff that we learned this episode, so. But, I guess I got sidetracked I was talking about how calm Makima is all the time. And yeah, I just can't get a read on her. Like, I can't tell whether she really cares about Denji or power, or if they really are just dogs to her. Like, there's a part of her that seems very caring, and that she wouldn't want them to be killed. But then there's another part of her that also seems like she doesn't care, and she would just kill them on the spot. I also am very curious about how strong she is. Like, if Denji and her fought all out, would she win, you know? Like, she's such a mystery, and I absolutely love that. Like, I do want answers eventually, but I hope they kind of, like, trickle them in, so maybe by the end of the season, I have a better feel for who Makima is, but I don't feel like I need, like, an episode that just tells me who Makima is, right? Like, I kind of want them to be, like, seeded in, and so I can speculate through the whole thing about, like, what are Makima's motives? Like, does she care about these people, and stuff like that? And I feel like they've done a good job of making me wonder about her intentions so far, but they haven't really given any evidence as to whether she cares or not, right? So there hasn't been any hints yet, I feel like, unless I just really missed something. Because I feel like her saying that, oh, I like people like Denji, in that, what was that? That was, like, episode 2. I feel like that could just be manipulation too, but we'll see. As we learn more about her, I'm sure it'll become more clear. But they talked about, like, the military use of devils. I wonder if that means people like Denji, or I guess also people like Power are a possibility. Or I wonder if they've managed to like tame actual devils too, because like Pochita ended up like being friendly with Denji, right? Despite this like power mentioning that there is this like part of the devil's nature that just instinctively hates humans, right? Um but if they I guess they can quell that too. So it's like, yes, it's an instinct, but it's not something that like controls them. So I am curious if any of that's going to come back with this like military use of devils and whatever these Soviet war hawks and the American issue that they mentioned. Like, I wonder if all that's gonna come back. But yeah. So we learned a couple things about Denji's abilities. One, he's able to retract the chainsaws at will. So that's really handy because, I mean, sometimes you need to be handy. So, yeah, it's definitely nice that he can retract them. And we also learned that by becoming this devil, he is physically strong. Now the question is he only physically strong like that when he has his ripcord pulled and like he's in the Chainsaw Man mode, right? Even though he retracted the chainsaws on his arms, he still had the helmet one. Is that when he has his strength? Or could he always just hold a car in the air like that? But either way, that's a question we may learn eventually, but that's very cool regardless. I like that he has some enhanced strength because that will give us... I feel like that will make some of the moves that he does as Chainsaw Man, like, a little more believable because he has this enhanced strength. Like, you know, I'm sure he'll be doing some, like, jumps and other stuff, and we can assume that his leg strength is just there so he can, like, Hulk jump kind of thing, and stuff like that, whereas it's not just, like, a regular human with chainsaws on his body. Because that would probably make me question some of the fights in some of the episodes, as if he jumps real high or something like that to, you know, go and do an attack or something. I'll be like, well, how did he jump that high? He's just a person, you know? But, and I'd have to suspend my disbelief and be like, oh, it's just an anime thing. But now we know, you know, he has this extra physical strength, so it covered that ground. I very much like that. I like when they can give us, like, reasons behind the different abilities that people have, and we don't have to just, like, question it. Like, that's one thing in, like, My Hero Academia, it feels like a lot of characters just have, like, physical enhancement, even though that has nothing to do with their quirk. Like, when Midoriya fought Bakugo, even just hitting Bakugo with, like, 8% of his power, I believe it was 8% in that moment, 8% of his power should be a shit ton of damage, but really it just, like, made a little bit of blood come out and he was fine. Like, I feel like that should have just knocked him out or killed him, you know? But he was, like, fine. And it's like, well, does he have extra physical resistance too? And that's, like, one of those... Or it's just an anime thing where, like, obviously he's not going to kill this kid. But yeah. Very, very glad for that. But I think I've covered most of the stuff. I feel bad for the cat. I like the little backstory. I like that Power seemed to be grooming the cat back to health so she could eat it. The question I have is deep down, did she really plan on eating the cat from the very beginning, right? Like, when she first found it and saved it, was she, like, 100% gonna eat it, but then she grew attached to it as she, like, had it fed and everything? Because, like, we saw her with the cat looked healthy, but she didn't eat it yet. So I can only imagine, and then it got taken away. I can't imagine she was waiting even longer. I have a feeling that she got attached to it, and especially the way she looked at it when she thought it was eaten here and everything. If she was just looking at it as a meal, I feel like she wouldn't have reacted the way that she did. But that being said, I do wonder if... Because that's the thing is, yes, she said, I'm gonna fatten you up and then eat you, right? But that could be her nature as a devil. She doesn't want to... She might not have wanted to admit to herself that she didn't want to eat it, right? That she cared for this other living being. It might have been, like, against her nature to really care. So, I don't know. I'm just curious if if her original intent was, or if, from the second she saw it, she really was never going to eat it, but she's just putting on that front, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fatten you up, like, this is why I'm helping you, is because I'm gonna eat you, right? Yeah, and then just, like, had never planned on doing it. But either way, very good episode, guys. I had a lot of fun with it. I really love this show. The animation was great during the fight. It definitely was. It makes me really excited for, the potential down the road for, because this was just like a random thrown in bad guy. Like, I wonder if there will ever be a big baddie, right? That we have to go up against, rather than kind of like the episodic nature of the devils we've had so far. Will there be one that transcends multiple episodes and then have like a final conclusion fight with it that is just badass and crazy? I could see some stuff like that, or it could stay episodic in the nature of the devils, and we just see our characters growing and everything, and that's fine too. But and just have like consistently like pretty good animation for all the fights and all the episodes and everything. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to support the channel. You can get a couple episodes. Nope, not for this one. for some of my other shows, you can get early access, seeing a couple episodes ahead of time on there. And then I have Patreon exclusives, which are shows that are only on my Patreon and not released to YouTube. Eventually they will be, but you can watch like all of Lucifer that I watched, which is like season 4 through 6. Is on there right now. I started Better Call Saul for live actions. Tribe 9 is on there. The rest of Cowboy Bebop that I started releasing is on there. And Mob Psycho Season 2 and the start of Season 3 so far is on there as well. Check that out if you're interested in supporting the channel and getting more content from me. I very much appreciate it. Link is in the description below, or should be popping up. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.